Again, yesterday I checked in onto the TikTok, so today I'm going to check in on the YouTube. Just popping in to let everyone know me and my son are all right. And to those of you who have been faithful viewers, followers, and subscribers from a loving space, from a true and sincere space, thank you. I appreciate you, and I hope that you're able to find your way through your journey the way I am. So here's the fun, or should I say, message of the day. As you all are preparing for the next through 3 months, like myself, recouping. Yes, I got some of the good stuff out. Recouping, preparing, allowing, having some fun, all that good old stuff. There's something that's coming clear for most of you, like myself. Okay. Now, if you followed my journey and my story long enough, then you know that I tell the story about my bloodline, about specifically my maternal side, my maternal mother. Well, she can only be maternal. I'm going to say my birther because I don't reference her as mother. I reference her as birther. Okay? My birther and my eldest maternal sister. Now, you got to go back. I can't tell all the story right now. Simply this. My bloodline deals with distortion. They deal with distorted witches and warlocks. They move in the arenas that are disgusting to, us regular humans, okay? For money. They're into the whole, this whole new scheme that people have been doing with, um, killing motherfuckers. Pretend like they ain't killing motherfuckers for insurance. Huh? They into that, okay? But above that, they're into, doing like the baneful workings for nefarious gains. I and my son, we're scapegoats and targets, okay? Now, I have fought tooth and nail to like liberate myself from the cult that is which my family and the cults that they run with. And so I uprooted my life. That's the story, right? They tricked me into thinking they wanted to help me. I discovered it was all about betrayal and setup. I escaped that by the hair of my chin, letting go, like essentially starting my life all over. Most people don't have the guts to do what I did, but I did it, okay? And with my intellectually challenged son, okay? So it was rough, but now let me tell you what's come through. Things are definitely much better now, but let me tell you what I've come to understand, what I'm seeing clearly now. So for those of you who don't really want to subscribe to the notion and the idea about like spirituality, metaphysics, if you're not into all of that, I have something for you tonight. Okay. I have something for you all tonight that are just regular Joe Schmoes. Okay. You strictly believe in science and, the medical profession and so forth. I have something for you tonight. Okay. A part of my story, I tell about how I went to counseling, journeys of discovering about narcissistic abuse. And so, hold on, y'all, sorry. And I'm not even looking at the screen because I'm trying to get this message and get going because I'm really not here for nothing deep right now. I'm on the whole of the self-love, self-healing, and having fun so I can get my son the hell up out of Weird Town. Okay. So this has been a long journey. I did not wake up and decide, like a lot of people, it was trending. And after 2020, now everybody all of a sudden, nigga, you know what I'm saying, want to be saying some shit. And all of a sudden people want to be a podcaster and shit. And yeah, that wasn't my story. If you want to go back to the origins, you would have to go over to my YouTube channel. And over there, you'll kind of get more of it. Okay. So I discovered that I come from a family of narcs. But the covert style of narcs, which is one of the most dangerous. Okay, some of them are Machiavellian. Okay. But in other words, with that sociopathy, that behind the scene, that looking like pillars of society and all, because that's how that type of narcissism works. Okay. To everybody else, they look like they Jesus' best friend, nigga. They look like, you know what I'm saying? They got the anointments and, that they're the they're the fucking high priestess of priestess and, they're the revelatory and all of that shit. Right. But listen, I got away. But what do you all know about people that are actually that, whether they have gone to the doctor? Because chances are, what we have to accept, chances are, no, we cannot diagnose people, right? But listen, chances are these folks aren't going to the doctor. And even if they were, these doctors would have to be so well versed, so developed and trained on a personal level, because it's a doozy. They can run circles because they crazy. Okay. So it's about the experience, and only the targets and the receivers of that, and those who are close enough to be able to get an eye of it, know. That needs to be understood. Okay, so forget about having some conversation over Starbucks. Like, no, it's not gonna happen. Okay. Now, the new revelation that you all are possibly discovering, just like myself, which is not that new, but kind of new. What is one thing that narcissists, sociopaths, or psychopaths can't do? What's one thing they cannot, it's like, oh my God, they can't do it. Damn. What they can't do is let go. They can pretend, if they're trying to hold an image, they can pretend that for everybody. But in truth, what they can't do is lose and let you go. When you start to put up boundaries with these types of energies, when you uproot your life and say, look, I don't care if all I got is, you know what I'm saying, my nigga, it's just me, my son, and our blue pot. I ain't fucking with you. I suggest you stay the fuck on up. You be on that side, and I'll be on that. Because we ain't doing that. I'm done. Lights out. You don't need no access, nothing. Zero, zilch, nada. You don't need no conversation. We don't need to talk about birthday. We don't need shit. It needs to be. So they don't like that. If you're a survivor, you know what I'm saying. Honey, what do you mean no? What do you mean you not want to talk to me? What do you mean you don't want to see me? What do you mean you don't, what do you mean? They're not, again, they act like to the rest of the world that they don't care. They act like to the rest of the world, they ain't studying you, thinking about you. They act like, because they have this image to uphold as these very confident, strong, self-assured, independent, not a care in the world type of people. Okay? But it ain't the truth. Now let me tell you why. Somebody's gonna say, girl, get to it. I am. My maternal eldest sibling is in real estate. She's been in real estate, mortgage industry for years. Okay. And she has ran with a lot of crooked folks that's in that arena for years. I can name some of them. Okay. All right. And what I do know about her is she travels. Okay. She may be centralized in Las Vegas, Nevada, but she travels to Texas and other places as well. I'm giving y'all, I'm getting there. I'm going to tell you what I know. Just wait for it. Because see, remember, this is all about the need to control. and all about the need to be able to abuse by proxy if you refuse to let them have access to you. So they violate your boundaries. So let's say, let me give you an example. If somebody, you know somebody in that arena, that's like anything else. If you know somebody that's in banking, if you know somebody that's, at the DMV, if you know somebody, if crooked, retarded niggas are in that arena, okay, they don't have no sense of boundary to a narc. What do you mean boundary? Boundary, nigga. Everything is for the taking. So they exploit the fact that they're in that arena to trail you around. Yes, I said what I said because you don't want nothing to do with them. So they're trying to control the narrative by following you around, by using their resources, just like in that movie, Enough, the weird police dude that just could not accept it, the bitch. You know what I'm saying? They want nothing to do with him no more after he showed, her for the last time. Like, no, nigga, bye, nigga. And he just could not. That's a narc. That's a sociopath. That's a psychopath. He just could not. It just couldn't. She was willing to let go of everything. She let go of her comforts. She had lived a lavish life with this dude. So she stripped her life down, took her kid, and was willing to do that because she wanted her freedom. But this man just couldn't let it be. Likewise, that's my story. Since my people have access to these arenas, okay, since they have access to databases and have networks and connections with equally narrow-minded, weak-minded, sorry sons of bitch, eat shit. No, I'm just fake Jesus Bible. Anyway, these kinds of people who's equally fucked up, because see, narcs operate on a unibrain. I am 100% convinced that they're in unison all over the world. Like the narcotron shit go off, just like the Matrix. Agent Smiths, they don't have no fucking mind. And the people in the world, it's like go gadget, because they're unconscious. And so as soon as the agents want to tap in to access, whatever, boom, bitch, go gadget. That person go blank out of the consciousness, and then the agent Smith comes forward for the cause. And that's what they've been doing, and that's why things have been as challenging. It was unnatural. Sure, everything is, anybody would say uprooting your life, that's a big deal. Okay, you're starting from scratch. You go somewhere you don't know nobody. That it's a big deal. Okay, you're starting from nothing. It's going to be a big deal for anybody. But add a couple of factors to that. Add the fact that you have crooked, raggedy hoes. Insecure, bitter, jealous, entitled, highfalutin, religious bigot, hoes, and niggas. With a cause of their own. Money hungry. But then they'll go say, look what I gave at the soup kitchen. I'll be giving groceries to people, but I'm a killer as well on the side. And I will take money. I'm a killer. But I do have I do serve the underprivileged community. When that came to me today, I was out and about. I kind of smiled a little bit, and I was like, at least it makes sense. Now, how I said like those final little little tidbits. It's like, oh, okay. You've had people trailing you. You've had your raggedy hoe bitch sister them and her scallywag ragtag crew of misfits. Monitoring you, surveillancing you, and trying to quarantine you, and basically torture by proxy, so that they can feel like not a loser. So that they can step into what's yours and being you. Like, these people want to embody you. It's very sickening. Makes me want to vomit. But that's who they are. And that's how far they'll go. And so what has happened with some of you like myself is, no matter what you've tried to do. Now, I recommend this. Before I had left Las Vegas, I did a report, okay, based on the incidences that was taking place, over time. But then I also added the dynamic about my family. And so if you feel like this is something similar that's going on for you, you need to, I know you might be saying, but that sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. No, it's not as crazy as you think. And there are some higher ups that are aware of shit. Okay? So you may have to be courageous and report it. So you may have to give your family's full information. You may have to tell them what you know about, their business and some of the people that you know that they ran with. You might have to tell them what your suspicions are. Be creative in how you say it, because, in this 3D, they're all like, you can't be saying, that they're very well. So you can say stuff like, I suspect, they're this, but based on my experience, they certainly abused my son, my daughter, and me. They don't respect boundaries. I have tried to get away from these people. I don't talk to them. I have cut them off, and they just can't leave it be. They cannot let my life leave it be. They're exploiting their resources, their positions to get with other equally wicked-minded people to cause issues. Going around trying to project their nastiness, basically, because what sociopaths, psychopaths, and narcs do, they swap the story. So when they're going behind your back, contacting you as you travel the world or as you go where you go, they're telling the story that's true of them. They retarded, they crazy, they a hoe, they fake, they're a thief, they're a horrible mother, they'll fuck your man, mental illness, which is them, because they working with groups that do shit to disable people. Now you tell me who mentally ill. They sacrifice, and they'll sit up in the face of ignorant-minded or narrow-minded or just gullible, dumb, ain't experienced shit but the four corners of the sticks, that may or may not know nothing about that kind of stuff. And so they'll say something like, oh no, that's just in their heads, they're always been this way and so forth, just act so and so, and yeah, that she's always been, she's just stressed and woo-de-woo, and just acts. But we have to remember that narcs, psychopaths, and sociopaths, that is what they're professional at. Swapping. And since these abusers do what they do behind the scene, and then all of the abuse that they heap onto their target, creates all these things, anxiety, they didn't traumatize the people's kids and all that. And then since people are just ignorant, people are ignorant. They will look at you as you're surviving and healing and trying to recover through the shenanigans that has been created at the hands of your special needs people. So that's the final icing for y'all. Now, if this is your story, you grab that, your puzzle is done. Some of you already know all the players that are involved that think that you don't know. Okay? Because for some of you, this is government. Some of you, it's housing authority. It's property managements. It's various landlords. It's various, business entities. So, and all of that was a part of the monitoring to ensure restriction that they were trying to impose upon you, to ensure limitation. And so if the situation, you discovered that people was being rigid, or they were making something unnecessarily difficult, or that they were just kind of trying to manipulate your mind into feeling like you had to, you see that? In other words, trying to coerce you into making certain decisions that would not have really been in your best favor, but was going to serve the purpose and the agenda in which they had, by restricting, saying, well, we can't do this. This is the option. Oh, bitch, I got your ticket. You're done. And you're basic. And you're on my list. Shh. It's okay. Now, all you do, this is why they're afraid of you getting strong. This is why they sit out and roam and coming out on the balconies and shit. They scared. Scared. I would be too, though. I would be. Because they're done. These folks, collective, it's been insane. And you're alive, and I'm shocked. I was like, you're alive, really? It's been insane. They've been doing spell work, and all sorts of shit. These people are crazy. They're nuts. Nuts with briefcases. But wanted you to go nuts, wanted you to feel nuts, wanted people to think you're nuts. That's why they kept trying to provoke you. Because you see the cycle, this vicious. They want you engaged. They want you to fight. They want you to do this. We ain't doing none of that. We know, and we for now we got down on this. It is what it is. That's all. So we keep living. You keep healing. You keep moving in silence. They're watching you. You watch them. You keep reporting. You keep, taking down them names. Okay? But you're gonna, yeah. It's that far. So we're gonna have to say that. Okay? You suspect that your relatives is working with woozy woo. Property manager, landlord number 1, landlord number 2, housing authority. Huh? Niggas you dated, bitches you dated, and they niggas and bitches and niggas, and they relatives. Neighbors. As far as I'm concerned, people shouldn't have got themselves involved. So people wanted to play hall monitor, and that's what happens when you do that. People want a little couple $100, $1,000, so they get their kid a PlayStation. But these are the Jesus people. I'm going to keep talking like that. I know people don't like it, but I'm going to keep talking like that because that's what's real. In this 3D, the uniform and performance that these people offer are, there are people that give to charity. They're at church. If they're churchgoers, then they're at church every Sunday, and they're taught, tithers, and, if they're spiritual, then, they're, getting Reiki, they're meditating, and they're, doing whatever. But how you both, though, nigga? That's why I'm not impressed. And I'm so grateful to be past the phase where I take things at face value because somebody is looking apart. They know how to talk the language. They got on the uniform. They got a couple of reviews on a website. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad to be over that. Mm. Anywho, I hope y'all enjoy your weekend. Get these motherfuckers hell. They want to play these games. Now everybody's name is going down. I feel sad and sorry for the innocent lives and families that are connected to these people that are just sick and depraved, that was willing to risk their own life, risk their careers, their health and well-being, and that of their children, risk their reputation, risk what they established. I feel sorry. Not for the people who were stupid, but I feel sorry for the innocent life connected to them. Right? The innocence. It's kind of like, damn. But that's what happened with people. You too money hungry, you greedy, always looking for a get rich quick scheme and a come up. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens. This is going to be big time hardcore lessons for a whole lot of folk. This is what happened when you on some vindictive shit, when you got mental illness and you don't want to go to the doctor for it. When you're an addict. This is what happens. This is the fuck. This is the fuck. This is the fuck. What happens? It'll come a time. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Meaning, the bigger the organization, the bigger the group, the bigger the number, the bigger the power, the bigger the resources, the bigger they are, the harder they fucking fall. And maybe that needs to happen. It makes you wonder. And all I can tell y'all, for me, as this has all come to a whole wrap, it makes me wonder how many other lives, you see what I'm saying, have been affected in this kind of way. I'm sure I am not the only one. I'm sure me and my son are not the only one. I wonder how many lives have been bullied, this covert kind of coercion, forced passive aggressive, push you into kind of shit. And they didn't have a voice, you know what I'm saying? And any, vulnerable populations, and that's a part of the whole predatory behavior. Oh, they don't know nobody. They don't got nobody. They don't have no options and choices. They, and that's a sick mind, especially for bitches and niggas that try to proclaim there's some kind of a powerful, beautiful, evolved, #woke leader. But that's the way of this world. And it's going to take folks like myself and other folks out there that see them the forerunners. It's like, fuck it. This is how this is. We finna do this. Fuck it. Y'all want a tower? Welcome. Welcome to the tower of the town, nigga. You want a tower? Welcome. Because it's here now. It's here now. It's here now. It's going to be a slow drip, but a continual one and indefinite. Because this is a shame. Y'all, if y'all like me, y'all just trying to get away from motherfuckers. I'm starting to really feel some kind of way. I'm like, what's wrong with them? Every day I'll be like, what's wrong with these people? Every day at some point, at least once. At least once, I'll be like, but like for real, I'll be like, what's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? Especially the ones that they went so damn far to win. They got the nigga, they got the money, they got the they crooked and hoed and sucked and fucked they way up into houses and cars and positions and all of those things. Okay, so what's the problem? What's the problem? What's wrong with them? That's how I feel. Like, what's wrong with them? And the short answer is, it's too bad. We are never going to know what's wrong with them. We're never going to know. It's all we need to know is that it is something wrong with them. Because otherwise, they wouldn't have come for you the way they did. Otherwise, they would not have treated you, your children, like some kind of scapegoat target. If ain't nothing wrong with them. Y'all can't fix them, can't help them. But this bullying, this passive-aggressive bullying and hiding behind other people and hiding behind, legalities that they don't even uphold, all of that shit ends now. This secret connections to people's relatives and these violations of folks' privacy and violating authority and all that shit, this ends now. It ends now. It fucking ends now. All this pettiness, and especially behind niggas. That shit too. That's the part that really tripped. I'm like, man, I done went in the time warp, nigga. I'm in 2000, nigga. It's 2024, but I'm like, nah, I'm in 2000, nigga. I went in a time warp. Cause ain't nobody on that shit no more. In no damn 2024. Ain't nobody on that shit. Like these Pygmisha chicks and these Pygmisha dudes, whatever you want to call it, on some dumb shit behind niggas and bitches kind of deal. Ain't nobody on that when you pass that for the teeny boppers, the teenagers, okay? 18, 19, 20, 25. Ain't nobody past no 30 on that shit in 2020 goddamn 4. I'm like, well, I ain't never the motherfucker. And my goddamn it. I'm like, and they got that nigga. I went through that shit in Vegas. These hoes was nuts. They was fucking nuts. Them hoes was cold nuts. I remember that shit too. They were nuts. And I was like, okay, farewell. And what do? Like I always do. Like I always do. Oh, honey. Honey. I'll be in a relationship, but until, when it's done, it's done. When they show me their hand, when I know what I know, and when my threshold has been crossed, that's it. I ain't chasing a nigga. I ain't competing for a nigga. I ain't stalking no hoes and shit, calling them 30 times and shit. What kind of shit? That's the 12th grade. I'm like, what the hell? And I would just get out the way. And I think that's why I scratch my head so much, because it's like, it ain't like I was ghetto fabulous. It wasn't like that. It was like, shit, if a nigga don't want you, shit, at some point when you gonna just go ahead and swallow it. Let it be. There's too many other folks in the world. Let it go. However, they couldn't take that either. The bitches was calling in, you know. They was calling in. And I'm like, okay, if you don't know where your nigga is, that's y'all. You the one like this toxic cycle with the nigga. That's y'all. Anyway, the final pieces. And they're around as I speak, and I'm aware of that. Some of you all are too. People don't think that I'm that tapped in, but I am. But it's not for me to always say that, because none of that actually matters. At the end, all that needs to be revealed and done will be done. People need to go somewhere in life and check themselves. Everybody need to do that. They need to check their egos. They need to check their greed. They need to check their entitlement. They need to check all of those things, their power trips, because this is about to blow up a whole lot of people's lives. People also need to check their humanity. These are the same people that will drop to their knees and cry like a bitch if them and theirs was treated the way they have agreed to treat y'all. And that's where the saying comes, niggas and bitches can dish it out, but they can't fucking take it. They don't have a problem being inhumane and insensitive and callous as it pertains to you or yours. But I'll tell you what, if they were to get a phone call right now, right goddamn now, some devastating news, some unfair, unjust, devastating news, they'd feel some kind of way. They'll be going all over the globe, all over the world. Honey, let me tell you something. That's why y'all don't listen to folks, people trying to silence you. If it were them, the only reason why they feel big and bad because they have to roll in clusters. They cannot stand alone. And if it were them and theirs, they would be running their mouth too. So don't buy that. They be wanting the targets just to be in fear and somewhere sitting in the corner, feeling like they don't, they're powerless, and you're anything but that. And you do your investigations. That's why I tell people all the time, if you dirty, baby, I'm going to need you. It's going to serve you. And see, people don't be believing. They got them like, well, I know people. And them people can be taken down as well. And you are correct. You know people. And yes, ring around the rosy. People need to stop that hiding. I am proud of those of you that are on the journey, and this is you. You're standing, you're glowing, all this shit they done did. It's like, suck it, nigga. It's like, suck it, bitch. Right? Because they wanted to monitor the torture. Because I know what this is with my people. They wanted to be able to monitor that. You be, go in there so you can report. So now, I wonder how they doing. Anywho, keep moving forward. Keep moving in silence. If y'all got other devices, y'all do what y'all got to do. Because if it go real deep, you're going to have to use one phone for one thing, another one for something else, none connected to your other regular shit. Okay? Change up your routine, change up your routes, change it all up, And then when you think they got that figured out, change it again and again and again and again and again. So they can understand, right? I done gave people, I done put the call out to some of the motherfuckers, work with them I can. I done put the call out, they know it. And I'm gonna put a time limit on it as well. I haven't put no expiration date yet. But I'm fencing to put an expiration date. Hand me the witch. Hand her to me. I may pay a bill or two for you. I might have mercy. Give me all what I want to know, and I might have mercy and let it go. But turn her in so I can handle what I need to handle. Because this ends now. All right, y'all. I appreciate you. Take care of yourself.